Oh man, or was it? I don't know. All right, Miss Logan, Boo Bear. Okay. Well, that was my other account. I don't know. I gotta have a. I gotta figure out what I want that account to be. Right. If I just have no topic, it's like with me, all roads lead to porn. I just eventually start talking about porn again, which is fine. But I got to get more clear on what I want to do with that one. I really just wanted to test to see if I could go live from this setup, which obviously I was able to. So that
Yeah,
was
we
good.
definitely
What's
got
up,
off
man?
topic with that.
Well, yeah, it's like, and then we're talking about Russia and Ukraine, and
Yeah, I don't
like,
know how we got there. That's how you get your live shut down if they say the wrong thing.
yeah, yeah, totally. Who
Yeah,
are
I
you?
like
Have
your
you followed me
content though,
before, or
dude.
did you just?
No, 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 no. I just found you, and I was like,
Oh, you
huh.
did.
It's kind of like I don't know if you believe in God, but I do, and I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I don't know. I kind of just stumbled upon across your page, and I feel like lately, it's kind of been kept to myself. But I've definitely been trying to like get away from corn and the idea of it, and I do have a girlfriend, and she told me before she doesn't care if I do ever
Mm-hmm.
watch it, but I've just kind of come to the realization that I feel like you see the things that happen to people today in society. I feel like when they get let uh, go of themselves, Diddy, other people, whether or not that's related, I feel like it does have some uh, correlation. And I feel like some people, I mean, you could even talk about Trump and his, situations he has in court evolving around women. But I just feel like, having the right head on your shoulder and shoulders and, making sure that success is what you want and not just, the opposite of, what you've talked about in your videos. I feel like that can make a difference in your life. And I've definitely been trying to work on that and be a better person. And I feel like it's not always easy because, brain chemistry is a real thing. And, once you've been taught or by yourself or whatever to just think a certain way, do certain things, it's hard to break from that. It's
Mm-hmm.
like my best example is like you watch Spider-Man, and when he gets attacked by the venom, it's like he has to rip himself from that venom. And I feel like that is a very good analogy, like explanation of just how that is when you get deep into that. It's literally like ripping that venom from you, and like it is something that you need to dig deep down in yourself to find, who you are and not be confused by society or, these
Wait,
norms that have.
hold on. Sorry. Is this still my backup account?
No, you're on your main,
Are
I
you sure?
think. Oh no, you are on your
I am
backup.
on my
Yeah.
backup. Oh well, whatever. We'll just do this. I thought I was on my
But
main, but all right.
yeah,
Follow me.
my bad. I don't want to keep going on and on. I know I
Okay.
just
No, no,
kind
no.
of
You're good,
rambled
man.
on.
You're good.
Yeah.
Follow me. God, it's so weird how I'm so out of my element because I didn't like. I'm going off my normal pattern, but whatever. You're almost 27. Almost 27. So do you watch
Yeah.
porn, or are you trying to stop, or?
Yeah, yeah, I'm trying to stop, and I have before, and yeah, I feel like it can be an issue, and I feel like more people, more men, women too. I feel like everyone needs to value themselves more, respect themselves more, just
Yeah.
put other things ahead of themselves besides just that.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Angela. Now it makes sense what your message was. Yeah. Well, good for you, man. I don't even know what to do now. I should probably just go to bed. Maybe I should run for president because I'm senile. Um,
No, I like talking to you though. Give me your stance on everything I said. What do you have to say?
well, I wasn't really listening, to be honest. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Uh, but basically what I heard was that you think porn's a problem. You think it's poisoning people's brains and minds,
I
and it's
do.
something that you're working on stopping, and it's overall better for society.
Yeah, I
I
do. I
liked
do. I do
I liked
think.
what you were saying to that previous guy too. Like, it's just not good.
No, it's not, and I don't feel like it should be excusable. I don't feel like people should make an excuse for it. I mean, obviously, being intimate with your significant other is different, I would say, than that, and I do feel like there could be some benefits from it. from watching corn. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's a very argumentative thing. I mean, like I said, we've changed, since Playboy magazines was a thing, which was more uh reasonable back then. I mean, now we have the media and phones and everything, and I think just social media, everything. I mean, a lot of stuff can get out of hand quick with that, and people can just get lost and confused. And yeah,
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, totally. Thoughts on Halloween?
I mean,
Have
have
fun
you
with
ever
it.
struggled
Don't
with
read
it?
into it.
Why
Yeah,
is it that you feel
I
like
struggled. I struggled with porn for about 20 years. So I am a coach, man. I have groups um, where I help men to stop watching pornography if you're interested in that. You can go to link in my
this?
other bio. It does cost money. It's
How old are
99.
you?
But I'm 30. I almost said 42. What's wrong with me tonight? I'm 39.
Right. Yeah, you said you started it.
I
Did what
started
you
around
started
12
around
years
like
old. I
13?
started around
12
12,
years.
13. Yeah, and I stopped when I was 32 years old.
Now, I don't
Yeah,
want to get like weird or personal. I mean, like, do you know
let's
like
get
when it
weird.
was you felt like you started, uh, pleasuring yourself? I don't really know how else to put that. I know that's kind of a
Yeah,
serious, intimate question, but
yeah. I think it was around that time, like around 12. Um, I don't recall masturbating without pornography. So for me, it started at the same time. I'm not even tired, guys. Like I'm not tired. Usually, if I go live till midnight, 1 o'clock, like 5 days in a row, I'm like wasted. But I'm honestly not tired right now. That's why I went live in the first place. Um, but yeah,
no,
it was
my
around
bad.
that
Someone
time.
started calling me when you were talking, but I got a gist of what you were saying around that time
Yeah, yeah,
for
around
sure.
like 12 years old
Uh,
or so. Just
when
off
when
day.
you
Yeah,
when you
good
kind
thing
of
I'm on
first
my backup
started,
account.
yeah. That's interesting. I feel like it's different for everyone. I mean, I feel like when you're young and you figure out, oh, this feels good, you definitely can abuse it. I feel like I was maybe a bit younger when I figured that out. But it wasn't until I'd say sometime in elementary school I had a friend show me, some porn, and it was from there. It was like, oh my gosh, mind blown. Like you can look this stuff up.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean it's crazy.
And
Like you were saying, I mean that I actually I was curious where that other guy was going to go with that comment about like you used to just see certain parts and then parts of another part, and that analogy, as sick as it is, it's a good analogy. It's like you can see right up into their brain. It's like there is nothing that you cannot see or find on the internet anymore when it
no,
comes
and
to
I feel like a
uh,
lot of those people, they might be pretty hollow, and like they may let that stuff control their life, to whereas like if they didn't, if they have other morals and values and believed in other things, they might be more successful, or they
mhm.
might have a better stance in life because like their goal in life isn't around like sexualizing themselves for money. I know that's just like a vague you know assumption, but I feel like that fits for some people.
Yeah, totally.
If all you're focused is like being an OnlyFans model.
Right. Yeah. Do you watch the Whatever podcast?
Um, I'm not sure if I have seen that. No.
It's look it up on YouTube. It's an interesting one. It's basically two guys that uh, debate and shame OFers all day.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, it's tough because like men, our brains are wired a certain way. The same with women, same with everyone, anyone who you want to say how their brain is wired. So like at the end of the day, like it's a hard assumption or a hard thing to argue, whether or not we should do this or do that. Because I mean, like I've been to clubs before, and I mean it was a good time. I went there, I had drinks, I spent some money, and I feel like you could stand for one thing and be like, oh, well, we shouldn't watch corn, but then of course there's always going to be clubs because there's always just going to be money for it. There's always going to be an incentive for it, and it's same with the corn industry and all that. It's like a lot of it does revolve around money, which you know can be a tricky thing because you take pleasure out of it and what we should do and how it affects us. But then again, there is a money aspect which we have to look at because there are people that make a living from stuff like that.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Um, thanks for sharing, man. Did you just find me tonight?
Yeah. I was just scrolling through and I found you and I was like, huh, what are they talking about? And
Interesting.
then I heard that guy and I was just like, dude, no way. Like, I've I'd say maybe for like what this past week, at least a couple of days, I've really been, deleting a bunch of stuff and just,
Hmm.
trying hard, and it's kind of a brain fuck. Like it it
What
kind
do you
of
do
hurts
for a
you.
living?
And I'm a cook. I work with my family. We like own a business and stuff like that.
Mama Hannah, are you there? Why do you keep requesting? And then it's
I have no idea. But
yeah.
yeah, I'm a cook. You know, I work with my family at a we own it business restaurant. We do
Okay.
pretty good. But I mean, I have gone to college. I got my associates in communications. I haven't really been able to do much with it yet because I've still just been working with my family. But eventually, I do want to get out there in the real world and like use my degree or figure out more about what I'm gonna make my actual profession in life.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm almost 27. I feel like I'm still kind of busy, working with my fam. But I feel like when I get out there, my focus was in media arts and productions, which is kind of funny that we're talking here right now. But like audio engineering, podcast, radio, stuff like that,
Where do
which
you
I do have
live?
a passion for, Illinois. But
Okay.
I haven't been able to really do much yet because I've been busy still working with my fam. But I mean, eventually, I do want to get out there and see what I can make of myself. Whether I have to, work my way up a ladder with my degree or go back to school, whatever. I want to be successful though, and yeah, I don't want
Hmm.
to be held back either by
Yeah. What is up with these people joining and then just banging pots and pans around?
Oh, I'm so
JLG.
sorry.
Yeah. Are you all
Hi,
right?
what's up?
Did you fall down the stairs?
Oh, no, I am all safe and sound.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, that kid. What does that mean? We probably just got bombed on this live. I don't get it.
I don't think that's
yeah.
fun.
That like they're gonna shut our live down, but I don't know why they would. We haven't
It's
really
my
said
backup
anything.
account. That's why we're here, anyways. So whatever. This is an off night, but I'm still here
Yeah.
for it. All right, JLG, talk to me. What's up?
Okay. Hi, y'all. Being really raw right now. So, um, it's not really about me. It's more or less like about like my boyfriend. And so, like, I don't know, little background. I was cheated on in one of my relationships, and I was with a female, and she cheated on me with a guy, and I went and I like spiraled and did a bunch of shit that I probably shouldn't have, and but anyway, regardless of the point, a bitch is damaged. Okay, well, not damaged, but I have a lot of I don't know. Everybody has baggage, so there's that, but.
Oh yeah.
Um, I went through my boyfriend's phone maybe like a year ago, and like he was I don't know I was just curious because like I don't know my trauma was showing, and I saw that he was watching porn, but like it was gay porn, and I was just like
Mm.
I don't know because that like kind of puts me in like a little predicament because I'm like I've been like honestly waiting to be on your live because I relate to a lot of the shit that people be saying on here because it's just like, what do you do in that situation? Like, I confronted him about it, and of course, he got angry and shut me down so quickly.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
but
there was like this one time that it was like, I don't know, because like everything that pops up is like this one thing in particular that I see, and it's like this app. And it's not an app; it's like a website, and like
mm,
it's where you can like meet up with like random dudes. And I just
mm.
like think that I don't know, like whenever we get into it, like I
You
think
think
of
about that.
that, and I just like it's so hard for me to like I don't even know, I just can't, you know,
Well,
and I just
But
want
there's
to
a
feel like
story. There's a story there. There's always a reason why people watch what they watch.
but like I know like I don't know. He I don't know. I know he's probably lying because he's like because like I'm with a trans man and not that like I don't know, but I don't
He's
know.
what?
No,
What did you say?
I said he's trans,
uh,
and so and like keep this a safe space, please,
so
because I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, no, that's
Um,
fine. What can you tell me what that means though? In
a
that context.
woman that
like female to male.
okay.
So he was born a female, and
Correct.
okay, and does he have the parts or
No, like female parts.
He
Okay.
has female parts. He presents like a male.
Correct. Like facial
Okay.
hair, everything. Like if you were to look at him, you're like, that's like a dude. You know what I mean?
And so he was watching.
Like gay porn, like gay, like I don't like. I love everybody, and like I
Right.
just like I'm not judging, but it just kind of puts me in like a weird place. Like I don't
I
know.
yeah. I
Did you
mean
have that discussion with him before?
I have, and he just shuts me down like every
that
single time.
I feel
And
like that's a very tricky situation because obviously it's coming from someone that they've they've made the changes to believe in something else because they weren't happy with how they are before. So I feel like when they like involve themselves in watching that type of content, it goes back to their character and how they feel, and it may be something hard for them to talk about, but I feel like you have to take in the predicament of the situation that they're in and how they represent themselves, because that falls a lot true to what they watch or how they feel, regardless if they want to talk to you about it or not. I feel like they that definitely makes it complicated.
yeah, what
Yes,
he's talking about is boundary settings, right? So
yes,
if
pretty
if you
much.
think
And
like porn is cheating, like a lot of people do, I mean,
it's
when I'm
not
in a
more or less
relationship with somebody,
cheating.
I don't watch porn
Like
um, exclusively, almost never. But like
right.
that's a conversation you need to have with your significant other and partner because you got to realize that most people above the age of 18 are going to be watching porn.
And I
Realistically,
realize that.
most of them do. So
Right.
if you don't want them to, I'd get like, oh, you found it, and you were like, oh shit, like I don't like this. You need to have that conversation. Be like, hey, I don't feel comfortable with you watching porn, and you have that conversation. Be like, it's cheating to me. It's like emotional. You're cheating. Like you're watching
Mhm.
some other stuff, and then
Yeah, and like he's in like a relationship with a female, and like, and I totally hear what you're saying, and I have had that conversation, and because it just makes me feel like why are you with me? Like why are you in a relationship
Well,
with me? Because it
yeah.
kind of puts me. Hold on one
So I've
second.
I've dealt
One
with
second.
a
One
a
second.
similar
Um,
situation, right? Is that
I
I've been in a relationship before where like you know we didn't care like hey if you need to go get your rocks off go get them off like watching porn or whatever, not like cheating or not like actively cheating like going out and getting laid or any of that, um but it was pretty set in stone like I don't want you like uh she was like a 5'3" very emo looking girl. She was like I don't want you like going out and watching like women who are like 5'9", super long blonde hair, like giant boobs and stuff like that. Because like that's not me at all. It's like, do you even like me? Do you even like my type? So, I mean, I could see, I could see where that's coming up from you being like, hey, like, do you even like me? You're watching this kind of stuff. Like, I thought you were, I thought you were this way, that way. I mean, so I've felt that too before with with partners in the same aspect.
mhm.
But now like I've matured more and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think porn is super healthy for a good relationship.
I don't
Right.
think so either.
Yeah, if you have desires or wants or you want to explore stuff, like talk it through with your partner, like an
Yeah.
adult.
And
Yeah.
and if you come to the agreements that you can do that stuff together and watch that stuff together, whatever kind it is, that's on your own terms, and that's all up to you. That's
Yeah,
all
but
up.
don't try to hide it because when you
No,
start trying to
no.
hide it,
Like he
it
hides
looks
it. Like
really
he
Yeah.
hides
bad.
it, and like he'll like because I don't go through his phone often, but like I don't know, like we're pretty open, and so like I just was curious today, and like I saw that, and like I was just like, dude, like it's just I don't know, because like it's totally different from like what I am. Like I don't have those parts. Like I don't
Hmm.
have like it just makes me feel like because I don't know my trauma spills in and it's like oh well he's just gonna leave me for a guy. So like I've mentally like I don't know I feel like I've mentally kind of prepared myself for that because
Hmm.
like I don't know it's just like sad to say and like sad girl shit but like it's what I'm like kind of used to giving like my heart to someone and then like they're wanting something else and it's just like and I know what I'm worth, and I know that I bring
Right.
the whole fucking table. Like,
Hmm.
I pay rent, I clean the house. Like, I'm like the whole thing. Like, I do it all.
Hmm.
And
I
then one
I
of
think
those things. Go
a lot of
ahead.
times things have to be 50-50 though. Like, you have to,
No, like we split everything. Like when
which
we go
is
to the
good.
grocery
Yeah,
store, like it's like I pay half and then he pays half. Like everything is like
that's
split
good.
down the middle. Like it's healthy in
Um,
that sense. But like when it comes down to like the porn and everything, like I don't think that it's cheating. I just think
mhm.
that like you
It's a
secretly
bit
like want
disrespectful.
it. Yes, yes.
Hmm.
And like I've told him that. Like I came to him and I was like, look, like it's okay to be, whatever you like, but
Hmm.
it makes me feel that I'm not
Disrespectful.
in a sense, yeah. And like, I just
Hmm.
don't think he gets it.
I
And
Yeah,
think
so that's a
something
type
that
of cheating, right? That's emotional cheating in your mind. Like,
I think,
something that
so there's more aspects of cheating than just like physically cheating. I'm sure
yes, I
Austin
agree.
can agree or come in with some more details about it and his opinions. But like, there's emotional cheating, then there's physical cheating. If you are feeling something emotionally and need to get gratification from someone else or something else rather than your partner, and you know it might upset them or you're trying to hide it, it could be seen as emotionally cheating by the other person. And it sounds like what you're experiencing is a type of emotional cheating, which could have been done accidentally for them if you've never had that conversation. Like, hey, like, you know, porn, and it's a hard conversation to have. It's
Yes,
hard
and
to have a
especially
conversation,
since
and be like,
he's
hey,
not
I
like
want to sit down
emotionally
and talk
mature
about
enough to have
this.
that conversation.
Okay, like
Mhm.
sorry to interrupt, but like
No,
as a
you're
real
fine.
gooner, okay, like I don't
What's a
know. You
gooner?
What
so
is that?
This
basically,
is about to get weird.
no, it's not
Yeah.
weird, bro. It's just like, like keeping your streak. And this is honestly like waiting to be enlightened on, Austin. Like basically like gooning is basically when you cannot stop. Like you have a streak basically. So when your streak ends, like you crash out.
Your streak of what?
I think you need to explain more.
So basically, oh my god, it's so hard to explain. So like, say like there's a bunch of
A gooner
videos
is a
that,
male who watches porn all day long while masturbating.
yeah, basically,
So you're a gooner?
Dude, that is not healthy.
yeah, basically.
How much time do you spend watching porn and masturbating?
My record is 48 hours straight.
Holy shit, bro.
40 hours straight. I don't think dude, you're, I don't think you realize what that would do to your
Wow.
male parts.
Is there
Like, they
is
would
there a
fall off.
release in there, or it's just
Yeah,
constantly going
basically.
at it?
So about like 4 or 5 times a day, right?
But it's like the
Oh,
same.
so you're talking, you were like actively watching it for 40 hours, not actively like participating during your watching for the
No,
entire
like
40
I
hours.
participate in it, and like
Did did you
I watch
sleep?
the same. No,
So
Did you like
you're
order
saying for
Uber Eats
40
or
straight
something during
hours,
that? How did
no.
you?
your whole meat was
So
hard
basically,
the
like
entire
I
time.
was just like going hard the whole time.
Dude,
I can't believe
I
that,
feel part
because
of you is
if
trolling, but
you
I
have
mean,
an erection for more than like 3 to 4 hours,
yeah, bro,
it's
you're
turning
fucking
purple
trolling,
and it's
brother.
getting necrotic.
Yikes.
Are you
Look,
trolling?
No, I'm
He's
being
definitely
serious, but
trolling.
I
to
feel
an
like you
extent,
Dude,
guys.
you're a troll, bro.
to an extent, he's trolling.
Why are you laughing at me?
Because you're laughing. We can hear your voice cracking.
No, because you guys think I'm like joking. Like,
Richard's
No,
just
I
a
mean,
straight coomer.
There's no way. Like I don't to do anything for 40 hours straight is very very difficult.
and
Yes.
unhealthy.
okay, like it started like a year ago, right? It went like, well, no,
Where's
actually,
the evidence?
I
We
mean,
don't
do you
want
want
That's
the
a
the
bad
proof?
evidence.
question. Yeah, that's a bad question.
It's a
Okay,
sock. It's a
That's
sock
like
under his bed.
crusty evidence.
nah,
Crusty.
but like besides that, honestly,
Calluses on his hand. I mean, jeez.
I mean, honestly though, like what you guys were saying, every time I've been in a relationship and like I've never continue to watch that because if anything, I want to save that sexual tension for my partner. You know what,
Exactly.
you know what I mean? And that is what, and I've honestly always stopped. Always.
Are
Always.
you
I
in a
don't,
relationship right now?
no, I'm not. So I'm
So you,
gooning
so you've
24
been
hours.
Dude, you're bullshitting, man.
Oh, I mean, you could think that, but I'm serious.
Gooning
Someone should give that
24
man a
hours
medal.
is just
I gotta
like a
keep my
very,
stamina. I gotta
very.
keep my stamina up.
So
If I
you
don't
don't
keep
do
it
you
up,
do you work? Do you have a job? Do you go to school?
yeah, I do it at work sometimes.
Okay.
This guy's got to be taking SSRIs to be lasting that long.
I mean, I
Yeah.
take honey packs.
So
I,
are you willing to catch a felony charge and get fired from your job over your sexual desires?
I mean, I drive
Yo.
home basically.
So yeah, if you were to get caught, you'd get put on the list and you'd get a felony charge. Is that
Yeah.
something?
Like,
A
Is that
felony
something
charge
that
for
you feel
what?
like
If
you
so
I'm at
would?
yeah, I
home.
worked with this guy, right, in the military, and this motherfucker got caught 3 separate times gooning in his car and in a parking lot on a military installation.
I
Mhm.
So it was
mean,
like we could call it a commissary. It's basically just a
he has
grocery
to
store.
keep his streak going, or else he loses. Basically, like me and my Discord friends, we
I
basically
don't know.
have a
That guy
streak.
got put on a whole list and everything. That was
Look,
crazy.
I feel like in life, dude, I was saying it earlier, but you definitely need discipline. You definitely need strong mindsets. You definitely need to,
And self boundaries.
value
Let the
yourself.
man
And,
goon. Oh
I
my
think you
and
guys
gosh.
are hating because you guys aren't gooning like me. Like personally, I feel
Maybe
like
when I was in high school and I like all I did was goon and play Call of Duty.
no, but like honestly, like if I find out like of a new like Mia Khalifa 2.0, of course I'm gonna goon like all
Oh
day.
my
I need to keep
yeah.
gosh.
that streak on.
All
That's
right, I'm kicking you
wild.
guys all off. I'm going to bring new people on here. Thanks for
All
sharing.
right,
All right.
thanks,
Bye bye.
Austin.
You ruined it for everybody, Gooner. I. This backup
As
account's
his
popping though.
master, dingling stretcher myself. I definitely watch porn a lot, and I've beat it so many times that it's kind of purple and blue. So
Why is this account so? What kind of people do I attract on this account? Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're cool, Yurza. I don't know what's going on. Tingling scratcher. All right, this is not what I want this backup account to be. This is going to be some other type of coaching account. What should I do? Business, sales, life coaching, transformation, life transformation. JLG, you want genuine insight on what you should do? Well, look, there's a lot of questions to get to the bottom of. Like, yeah, life and transformation. I like the life and transformation. I might make a separate account for like business and sales. I would love to do like sales training stuff because my approach is very different than other people. But transformational life coaching. I wanted life coaching. What if he's so cut off? JLG, come back on here, JLG. Here we go. Yurza, do you follow my other account?
I do.
No, not you.
And
Yurza.
like, oh,
Make sure Yurza, you follow my other account. This is literally the first and only time I've been live on this account. So this doesn't
okay.
happen that often. Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
what's your situation again?
So I found out that my boyfriend watches gay porn, and I confronted him about it. And I was, I was just like, hey, like,
But just so we're clear, your boyfriend is a woman who presents like a boy.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so like I just was like wanting to, because like I was watching one of your other lives and there was this other guy who opened up and he was like pretty genuine about it and he was saying like, no, you were saying that what the kind of porn you watch kind of ties into, like maybe like a trauma or something that happened to you when you were younger or something in the past. And like, I was talking to my boyfriend about, I was talking to him about certain like this whole issue. Well, it's not an issue. Like it's just something that like I've always kind of like bit my tongue on for the most part. But when I opened up about it, because like I don't, like you're gonna do what you're gonna do, but it's like like I told him like how I feel about it and like my past history, because I was saying that like even in one of my other relationships, I was in a lesbian relationship and she cheated on me with a guy. And so I told him that, and I told him that, like, it makes me feel like there's some hidden desire in you. And if you needed to go experience that and we break up, then that's fine, like that's okay. Like, the last thing I would want is to be married with him and then be having him like hiding the secret and then like me finding out and then doing that whole ugly divorce and everything. So like it's more or less like, do I want to just like kind of keep putting up with it? But like I've been in this relationship, I've never been loved as much as he has loved me, and he genuinely cares about me, and all the things like are right. Like we split everything down the middle, like like it's, I don't know, it's
All
just
right.
like
So
this one
what are you
thing.
wanting from him?
More
Like
transparency.
like transparency
No, no, no. Hold
and
on. Yours are just let me to handle this. Okay. What are you wanting from him?
to be open and to, because like it was an everyday sort of thing. This was like maybe like, I don't know, like 6 months ago, and like like I was being insecure,
Okay,
like a
hold on. So
goofball.
you want him to be open with you.
Yes.
Okay. So he told you that he's watching gay porn.
He never told me. I found that on my own.
Oh, he didn't tell you. You discovered it. Okay.
Yes.
All right. What request have you made of him? Or are you wanting
To,
to make of him?
I would actually like, I'd want him to stop watching it completely, just because like I could give him the whole world, and I could do those things, like like, but it just kind of puts me in a predicament, because like whenever we get like intimate, like that's what I think about, and like I get immediately turned off, and like I'm just like, you know what, like I'm
Wait,
tired, like
you think about what?
I think about what he watches.
Okay. What does he have any trauma in his past?
He's never told me that, like he has never told me that he's had trauma, like he's said that no one's ever like touched him or anything like that at all, from what he's told me. But people only
Yeah.
tell you what they want you to know.
Okay. And what's the story of the
Tell you what they
his
want you to
transition?
know.
Okay. And what's the story of
Well, so he grew up in the foster system, like CPS, and he always kind of knew from the get go that he wanted to be male, and and he grew up, like I said, in the foster system. He always presented himself like, first he was lesbian, and then once he got older, he started like telling people to call him by like his male name, or his preferred name. And then, he started transitioning when he was like 21, 22, or between like the ages of like 20 to like 22. So that's when he started his transition, and he has like the full beard, full, like like he got the top surgery, and everything, and so he presents himself to the world as male, and he said, "Oh, I'm not gay, like I'm not this, I'm not that," and like like I believed him, and always in the beginning of a relationship, like it's always so active,
how
and
old was he when he went into the foster system?
he was like 10. So he was in there for almost like 9 years, 9 to 10 years.
Okay. And what happened prior to that in his life, do you know?
His parents were both addicts, and his mom, after giving birth to him, walked out. Like she took out the IVs and she just walked out. She was, like I said, she was an addict and she was struggling, and she
Does he
didn't
not
want a
know his mom?
baby. He doesn't know his mom. He knows of her and her name, but not. They've never spoken.
Okay. All right. So there's at least two or three traumatic events that you've described there from his childhood, in my opinion. Would you agree with that, or
No, like I totally agree. I'm not like diminishing like
Okay.
anything of all of this. Like I'm
Yeah.
fully aware.
Okay. All right. So what are you wanting? Like, what's your
My end
how?
goal is to have like a healthy intimacy with him and having him stop watching all of it completely, because like there's multiple times when I went through his phone, like there was like I was saying this before everyone started butting in, that he was like on this
Okay.
one website.
All right. So your goal is that you want him to stop watching all porn or the type of porn that he's watching.
I mean, baby steps, preferably to stop watching that, just because it makes me feel like you're in the wrong
Okay.
relationship.
Have you told him that?
Yes,
Okay. Have you asked him like I'm asking you to stop watching this,
yes,
and he still does it?
yes.
What do his actions indicate to you?
Like when I ask him to?
His actions meaning that you've asked him to stop and he continues to do it. What does that tell you?
That tells me he doesn't respect my boundaries.
So what do you want to do with that?
Probably leave.
Is that something you're willing to do?
I mean, yes, but no at the same time, because I don't know, it's just my feelings are involved and it's hard and it's gonna be messy and it's gonna be ugly, and I'm not ready to mentally fully prepare for that.
And what will it
And
be
I'm
like
not
if you
scared
stay and nothing changes?
that I'm just diminishing my own self worth by staying with someone who doesn't follow my boundaries. And I'm not afraid to be alone either. It's just I
Well,
haven't like
boundaries are for you, not for him. Boundaries
I understand, but I was
declare.
just reading the chat.
Oh,
No, no, it says she won't because she's scared to be alone. That's not the case. It's just that I love him and I just hope that he would choose better. And it's just
and
I'm
what
kind of stuck right now.
and what if he doesn't?
Well, then I'm gonna have to leave because he's gonna watch it regardless. And so it's just like
Yeah.
I
So
don't know.
that's the predicament, right? Staying and nothing changing is hard. Leaving is hard. Doing nothing is probably the hardest.
Yeah,
Like just staying in limbo, being 1 foot in, 1 foot out.
I hear you.
So what do you want to do with that?
Well, I think I have a lot of thinking to do and making like a plan. Honestly,
Okay. Yeah, that'd be good. Making a plan. Hope is not a strategy. You can hope he changes, but hope is not a
right?
strategy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's so real. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for adding me back. I'm gonna go ahead and go, but I appreciate your insight and your advice, and thank you for having this be a safe space.
All right. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, no worries. Take care.
Bye bye. All right. This is my first time live, people. At least on this account. There's so many requests, I can't even bring somebody on. I'm not going to be on that much longer. Bobby. I can't believe there's this many people on my live. It took my old account like a year to break over 100 people on a live. I thought this was going to be like a nice quiet place. Oh well. Oh shoot. I tried to get you yours, but I clicked on this person instead. Hold on.
Yo,
Yo, what's up?
what's up?
Not much. What's up?
Yeah, I mean, first I'll say is like it's something that what you have to define cheating within the relationship. but I mean, I do think that porn in general is just not good for a man.
Or women. Anybody.
Do you think it's good for a woman, Cyrus?
I mean, I don't know like too much about how women interact with porn, like how
usually
much they
read it.
watch it, but I just know that
Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Do you think porn's good for women?
I mean it's probably not, like isn't like a dopamine like high? Like
I mean, that's what it comes down to, the psychological aspects of it. Yeah.
So do you watch porn, Cyrus? I don't know how to say your name.
yeah, Zyrus.
Cyrus.
Yeah, that's just, it's my internet name, but yeah. No, I don't watch porn. I mean the thing is, so I was unfortunately like I had access to porn when I was like 10. And
So
then
the average age is like 7 nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, well I'm 30, and then so like 2006 is like when I started getting access to the internet, 2005 whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I just like when by the time I got to like 21, 22, it just stopped working for me. Like I just couldn't even watch porn anymore. It just wasn't like
The average age is not 8. It's 13, by the way. Where are you getting that from?
It's actually, yeah, it's pretty young these days.
I asked where you're getting that data from.
Oh, you want me to go Google it right now?
Well, no, I Googled it, and the number I cite is 12 or 13, and every Google says it's
Well, isn't
12 or
that
13.
concerning to you?
Oh,
I
no,
mean,
yeah, that doesn't make it any
Yeah. I'm
any
just
less
asking.
concerning.
So
I
I'm
wanted to
30
see
as well,
if my
and
data is correct or not, because you said 8, and that's new to me.
Or 7, yeah.
so I'm 30 as well, and in like 2005, it was like free. What was it? Hotel Erotica. Who remembers that? Like on cable.
Yeah, there was like things you could pay for or search up. Yeah.
No, it was straight free on cable TV when
For
we were
sure.
like 12.
Yeah, I
But
remember a
it's
lot of stuff like that.
so actually there's statistics that kids are assaulting each other without having like any assault on them themselves. They're just seeing it online and then assaulting other kids.
Yeah, that's true. I
So
read that as well. It's like they're doing things that just from what they're watching in porn. That one's actually true.
so not to say like Marilyn Manson was not right, but I'm not to say he's not wrong. You see what I'm saying?
About what? What are you
Marilyn
talking about?
Manson, what did he do?
Well,
Yeah,
I'm bringing it back to like back in the day where people they say you see things online and you don't replicate it. It's absolutely true. There's like Saw murder duplicates. People who've seen Saw, they replicate those murders. So we can't say that people don't see things online and then replicate them.
Oh no, she got disconnected.
That's unfortunate.
Ashley, what do you think?
Hi. I listened to your live last night on your other channel. I I think personally for myself and my husband, I don't think porn is cheating, but I also think that we have good communication. We've talked about it, together, built on a structure of a good communication within our relationship. And we both have boundaries that we've talked about. I think the root of most relationships problems when it comes to cheating or feeling that the other person isn't heard. It comes from solid communication to begin with.
Hmm.
So I think it's such a hard question. Like I saw your is porn cheating and I was like, wait a minute, I gotta stop on this live because I want to hear. And I do have to agree with, I don't necessarily think porn is good for all aspects, like the easy access for children to get to it, people becoming addicted to porn. I think that can develop with anything. So there's the potential for that with anything in life. I think as long as you have a clear boundary in your relationship on what you expect from your partner, what your partner expects from you, and you respect that of each other, I don't think it would be cheating. I think for me personally, cheating to me is building any sort of romantic emotional connection to somebody else. So the visual doesn't bother me as much. Like if
because it's not as realistic.
right, exactly, it's more of a
But
fantasy than, and I can respect that everybody has like a, I don't know, like everyone has like a hall pass, who they would think, oh, if I ever got the chance. So I think that's human nature to want something that's not attainable.
it can be, but it doesn't have to be something that we set our standards lower for. I feel like,
No, I agree with that.
if people can come to the same conclusion that, we should value ourselves in a realistic realm and, uphold ourselves to certain standards and, respect and only, think of or, have ideas of being with the person that we're with, that is what should matter.
Hey.
Sorry, your music was playing. I had to cut you off.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like to each his own, but
Yeah, I agree. I just think for me personally, I don't consider it cheating. I think
right.
I have listened to both of these lives and I've gotten a very interesting perspective on what other people like would perceive. And I really just feel like it's it's based on your opinion, what, your partner believes, what you're willing to do in a relationship. Relationships in general are very fluid. A lot of
Yeah.
relationships, there are multiple partners, so it's
Yeah.
hard to say what
Yeah,
one
but
person
You
would want.
I
do
feel
you
like
think?
you'd never know too. Like, if you were to go to the store and your significant other, was laying in bed and just felt like looking at some before you got back and then hid it from you. I mean, you would never know. And that could be a problem too, because you can't always watch the other person. So I feel like that's something that you have to take in consideration when you set those boundaries. So, you may have
Yeah.
boundaries and say, hey, we're only going to do it together, or hey, yada yada yada, whatever. But I mean, you don't know what that person's doing when you're not there, and like, if you were to find out that they were, that may change your belief on it because you're like, well, dang, you kind of just backstabbed me and went against the agreements that we had.
I mean, I don't have that expectation on him, so I really wouldn't care if he did. Like when I was at the grocery store, it wouldn't bother me at all.
Right.
And I know it's the same for him. And we have a very good relationship. We've been together for 9 years, so I mean, I really don't have any fear of that. For me, it really is stepping over that boundary of
Right.
like building an emotional connection with somebody.
I feel like nowadays though too, it's not just the simple, corn that you find on the hub. I mean, now it's like you can get on here and there's women on a TikTok live like promoting their OF, or whatever, to where someone could be watching that and they're getting more intimate with another person that is realistic, and it's still watching porn. So it's like then you have to set that boundary. Well, okay, you can get on the hub, but don't let me catch you on, a live where a woman's promoting her OF,
Yeah, I think it's that is a boundary for me, and we have discussed that. Like, I wouldn't want him to interact with somebody, and that would be like a deal breaker for me. We would have to be like,
Right.
there would be an intervention if that were to happen,
And it
because
just, when you put it like that, it just almost comes off as a fallacy, because it's like, in that situation, it's not cool. But if it's something that's pre-recorded and it's something that, you watch on the hub, it's okay because you're not interacting with them. It's just something that you and a million other people watch. But I mean, I feel like at that point, you're weighing your options. I mean, you could say one thing's not cool, but in the next sense, like, it may be okay to do that, but it's barely, if not almost, the same thing. It's just, there's some differences.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's complicated for sure. It is.
I just think having an open discussion about it is important. I think respecting your partner is important. I think not changing the person your partner is either is
For
important. Like,
sure.
I wouldn't put a boundary on him that would make him who he wasn't. Not saying that, like, even this is general,
Hmm.
not just with the porn thing, but I wouldn't want somebody to expect too much of me, so I would never put that on them
Hmm.
either, or to make them feel less.
Value. Yeah.
Yes.
No, I know what you mean, and I definitely feel like, to an extent, if you're with someone and you love them as much as you say you do, and you respect them and everything as much as you do, and they're the only person in your eyes that is the love of your life, if it's that deep, I feel like, having vices or lusts for another woman or man, whatever you're watching, even if it is on the internet, can be a bit disrespectful, because it's like, well, I'm not good enough for you. And I know that that's a high expectation, but at the end of the day, I feel like we need to really value, love and family unity to what it is, and if it's, oh, I love you in these times when, whatever, but hey, when I can get my rocks off to this, I'm going. Well, it just does that, what does that show true
Yeah,
character about
but
that
does
person,
sex define love?
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends
Because
on,
I feel like there is so much more to a good, solid foundation of a family and relationship than just sex.
no, for sure,
All of
but
those other things are way more important to me than sexual aspects of my relationship. We can always work on them, with a
100%,
discussion.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, I feel like
But that's what I'm saying. I don't feel like you should define your entire relationship based on somebody's sexual preferences either. Like, if it's not something that you can work around, then it's not, all those other things don't matter.
no, they do. I feel
All
like
right, new rule.
you know,
Everyone's getting kicked off unless you turn your camera on. From here on out, it's going to be a camera on only live.
yeah.
I'm sitting in bed, dude, in the dark.
All right, you're out.
Are we
Hold on.
going camera?
You got.
Yeah, I could
I
I don't care
can't.
if you guys turn your camera on or not. I'm just that's a new rule.
All right.
Everyone's like, let me on, let me on, let me on. If you want to come on, you got to have a camera.
I can't. You can kick me off. I just wanted to say my 2 cents. Thank you.
All right, bye. So I'm going to bring people on, and if you don't have a camera, you're out.
Oh, that's funny.
Hi, I'm turning my camera on. Just give me 1 second to turn the lights on. But I had a really important question because I've been hearing everybody else's, like, what they've been talking about cheating and, like, porn and corn and stuff. And I've also been struggling with my, I would say, boyfriend. I have found on his phone, like, a lot of stuff, and it just made me feel uncomfortable about myself.
Sorry, guys. You heard the rule.
Oh. Oh,
Backup account. I do whatever I want.
I love it.
Bro,
Nice to meet you
you
guys.
need
It's so much
live
better to
access
talk
to
to
turn
people.
on your fucking camera.
Oh, he's out. Get more followers.
Oh, that's funny.
Kat, we need a full panel.
Yeah, it definitely brings a bit more characters alive.
Yeah.
For sure. Talking to real
I need
people.
followers. I want to get out.
Okay, let's just get a full panel. Hold tight.
But no, dude, this is a good convo for sure.
It
I feel
is.
like it's a healthy convo. Either way you take it, but I
I'm
feel
trying
like,
to turn my camera on. Give me 1 sec.
I feel like the majority of us know the right answer. You know.
For sure. All right, you got to have your camera on if you want to stay on here.
My mic isn't working, man, bro. Not my mic. Oh my god, my camera. Hold on.
All right, you're out then.
Yes, sir. I understand that, man. Don't worry.
All right.
And you could always make excuses too, but
For what?
for like I feel like she was making some excuses that it doesn't really matter. There should be other things that matter besides that, and if you can come to boundaries with it, it should be okay. But I don't know. That's a tricky thing to argue.
Are you in a relationship?
Yeah, I am. I've been in a relationship for about a year and a couple months.
Okay. All right, cameras on, people. This is a camera only live from here on out. See, and this is why I'm doing this, because there's so many people in the chat. Let me on, let me on, let me on, let me on. It's like, you want to come on? Turn your camera on.
For sure.
I got this.
Yeah. What's up, Lacey?
What is going on?
Would love to chat with us. Put my light on. Ooh.
See, it makes it different when you're actually talking to a human being.
Yeah, instead of a picture.
Instead of a screen. I mean, I've kind of gotten used to it. People hardly ever have their cameras on, but
I'm
there we
used to
go.
it from Zoom meetings
So,
where people don't ever turn it on.
exactly. All right, look.
Where are we
have
going? Where are we
real
going
people.
from here?
Okay.
I don't know. I just wanted to stir the pot. I was just listening, so you guys keep talking.
Yeah.
Well, I agree that it is cheating, but I have a whole different take that I wanted to share whenever I could.
There's a lot of women that don't
Go ahead,
think
Kristen.
it is.
Go ahead,
you know?
Kristen.
Yeah, I know. It's very interesting conversation to me. So
Like my girlfriend told me when we started dating, like
Yours,
I
let her
don't-
talk. Let Kristen talk.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. I just I wanted to come on here last night and the night before, and I just caught your channel like a few days ago. So I was like, okay, I'll just get back on. But I actually started a long relationship with a guy where I was like being like the cool girlfriend who would like watch it with him and like go to strip clubs with him and do everything to be like the most rowdy, like unbelievably cool girlfriend, like all the stupid stuff that you try to do to impress people. Like, for instance, I went to the river with him and they were like, go get those beads. And I flashed and did beer bongs in front of everybody just to be cool, right? And super dumb, like so unfulfilling and just ridiculous. And all his friends saw my whole body, like, ew. But, now I'm married almost 10 years tomorrow to my husband with 3 beautiful kids. And thank you. We're in a wonderful relationship. Before, with that other guy, I was always friends with my husband, but just friends. And it was kind of a weird transition, but I was single in between those 2 relationships for almost a year. And when we started talking, we ended up having a lot of conversations because I knew just from being friends with him that he struggled with watching porn. And I say struggled because we're Christians. So it's just one of our beliefs that, like, if you're going to get married, like, it should be eyes for each other only. So we call that covenant, if anybody doesn't know. And so I believe that as well, but I was not being the best Christian before. I was sleeping around and doing all kinds of things in between after I was like, freedom, like away from that other guy. So obviously I was coming back around to my faith and just different things. But with my husband now, I knew that he always struggled with porn and I married him anyways. And I want to say something about that because I know a lot of people out there get like lied to or whatever. So it's totally different, I feel, because we were friends, like very much friends for a long time and honest about everything. And so I was like talking with him one day and we were talking about the fact that, like, I had slept around, like so much so that I had to count how many people when it was time for the body count conversation. And he had only really like slept with like 3 people before me, but it was like one off here, one off there, maybe a couple times with the other one. And so really he was saying he was celibate for 9 years, like after those experiences when he was younger, until the point where we were going to come together and be married. And so my other question on this live is kind of like, and I know what you're probably going to say, but is, is celibate inclusive of porn? Right. And I don't think it is, but he was saying that like he used porn to get through, not like sleeping with other girls and like, catching STDs and having babies. And I'm like, well, I appreciate that part. Mm-hmm. Girls just use birth control. And like, unfortunately, sometimes we have babies all over the place. I didn't have any kids yet.
All right. So I want to check in with
Go
Lacey.
ahead.
Lacey,
Go
why the
ahead.
faces?
Sorry, I know I'm
probably not
sorry, because I don't have that filter. But Kristen, are you okay?
Am I okay?
You're Christian, correct? And so is your husband, and all this, because you gave a lot of backstory for that, and all the things you're saying, that's not tracking with what your beliefs are supposed to be. So I'm a little confused.
Okay, I'm sorry you're confused. I don't know if you know the same Jesus that I do, but there's forgiveness and like you're allowed to change.
Okay.
Okay, sorry. Well, your past is your past.
What I heard was that there was a point in time where you came back to your faith and then things changed.
Right. I was
you were talking about your prior life.
Okay, to make it clear, so I grew up in a Christian household, but you kind of have to make your faith your own. So when I fell away from the Lord and I was just doing all kinds of things, I was with that horrible ex-guy trying to be cool and trying to be the girlfriend that did everything horrible. And when I came back around to the Lord and my relationship with my faith, like all that's in the past. So you're forgiven. It's okay to move on. You don't have to live in shame for the rest of your life. But I'm sorry if you don't know that faith, but that's my faith. So
what do you think, Lacey?
Well, no, I mean, I think we're talking about like what the topic is porn cheating, and I feel like we just kind of got like a crash course on like your confusion on what's going on with your thing. Like I said, I respect your struggle. I respect those things. I get that. But in like, I feel like you lost the original plot of what we're talking about here.
I'm trying to get there, but it's okay. Sorry, the story's so long. The question I had with my husband when we were talking about is porn cheating, because he used to go to porn for whatever, like people go to drugs or too much eating or whatever it is, whatever your addiction is, for comfort or for release or for whatever that is. And I had an issue with that because I told him, we were already engaged, in fact, and I told him, like, I have an issue with that because I don't want to raise kids with someone that is going to teach my sons or daughters that porn is celibacy. So that question had to be answered by him for me to continue the relationship. And when I explained why that was so important to me, it's because my old comfort sin, if you're going to call it something, was addicted to men. So just because it wasn't porn and I liked a real penis in front of me doesn't mean that like I can do that once I'm married or I'd be the hoe. So like, is it okay to just watch porn when I don't see you for 6 weeks after a baby in the intimacy room? Or like, is it okay to like be on a long work trip and you just watch porn because, oh, well, I'm used to it. It's not, to me, it wasn't okay. So I'm not here to debate if anyone else thinks porn's okay. What I'm saying is like the question about celibacy, including porn, was similar to me with the question, is porn cheating? Because he did not think that it was cheating on me if he messed up. And I said, so for the rest of my life, if you mess up, I'm supposed to just like swallow it and walk away. Like, would you be cool if I just slept with some guy if I was feeling lonely? Like, that's not really fair. And so he came around. What I want to say is he came around.
Milana, talk to us.
Okay. So, can you guys hear me okay? My mic is like kind of covered.
Yeah, we got you.
Okay. So, recently I've been having a problem with like porn and all that with my boyfriend. And I talked to a lot of people about it. Well, not a lot of people, like my best friend and like also people who are in relationships that I'm very close with. And so the problem was that I feel like if you were to just watch porn and just look
It's
it
kind of
up.
it's kind of hard to hear you. It's like you're cutting in and out.
Oh, can you hear me now?
It's a little better. Are you
Okay.
18 or over?
Yeah, I'm 18.
Okay.
So, basically, like, I feel like it's not cheating, but it's cheating to a certain extent because he's looking up girls, like certain girls. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain girls, like, that he'll watch every single time, or like, that he would. And it just, like, it makes me feel a certain way because it's like, I don't even look like these girls. Or it's like, it's just weird to me because it's not like, oh, you're searching up a random video, like, you have nothing to do with it. It's just like, I guess for the look of it, just because it's porn. But just like by looking up these girls, following them, like it makes me feel weird about myself, and also the fact that I've told him that I don't like it and that it's just like not fair to me and it's disrespectful because I'm your partner. Like you shouldn't be wanting to look at these other girls. Like I'm here for a reason. I've like it just I don't I don't know if that makes sense. Does that make sense? Yeah,
Totally. Yeah.
and like I just don't get like why like he keeps doing it. And then when I confront about it or like I look through his phone because I feel a certain way because he keeps doing it and I just see like also like videos and like all that stuff. And like I'm not trying to like put him out here too because this is like also personal stuff, but I know like you're a coach or whatever. You're a coach, right? That's what I saw you. And I just thought maybe like from someone else's perspective that I don't know, like you can give me advice about that because I've also said it before a couple months back. I did find like pictures and stuff in his phone of like other people, but he said that he didn't like remember it was in his camera roll or whatever. And now that we're like basically in a relationship, because we've been talking for like almost 5 months now, and like we're basically dating. It's just a stupid like name talking, but we're with each other every day, doing stuff with each other every day. Like we're dating.
Do you think he's being honest with you?
I honestly don't know, and I don't think so because he even admitted
He's got naked pictures of other women in his camera roll, and he says
yeah,
he
but that
forgot.
was like months ago. Yeah, like it was like a month and a half in of us talking at that time, and like that was in like we were like super like together. Like
I won't give you advice, but I'll ask you a question. Is he treating you the way that you want to be treated?
no. No, but like LG, the other girl that was here, she was like, but I love him. And that's my problem. I love too hard and I have too much of a big heart where I just like I give
Do you
people a
love
chance.
him, or do you love the idea of what it could look like with him if he wasn't doing the things he was doing?
I think that and the fact that he keeps saying that like he has been working on how he talks to me and like how he comes across things and stuff. But I don't know. I just don't want to waste on a new guy and like you know what I'm saying? Like I just like that's not something that I want. Like I want to work it out with him. I want to grow with him and stuff. And I know I'm young, I'm 18, but
you are so young. And
yeah.
the travesty here would be to say the same thing you just said 10 years from now. I don't want to waste all that time. You've wasted what, 3 months?
Like 4.5 almost.
Okay, 4.5 months. Okay, which is, first of all, it's not a waste. It's a learning experience for you.
Yeah.
So the question I would invite you to ask yourself is, why am I still here? I don't know the answer to that. I'm not saying you need to move on or stay. But just ask yourself, all things considered. Lacey, I want to hear from you.
Yeah, no, I'm just seeing like comments of people think I'm judgmental. It's just like my facial expression.
Can we ask the chat something, Lacey?
Yeah.
And I love that we have cameras on. Who here has experienced Lacey as being judgmental? Okay, and then so just keep talking, Lacey. Okay.
Yeah, so I feel like it's I'm just trying to like jump in this with like my life experiences. Like it's not really me being judgmental. It's more like I've experienced the situations. Like, do I think porn is cheating? Not as a whole. No, I don't. I don't think it is, but I think on certain extremes, like Kristen maybe experienced, as Milana had maybe experienced, yes, I think that in that situation, given in different types of situations, that yes, that would be considered cheating because these men are taking more weight from this pornography than they should in their own relationships. Like I'm a full believer of like I've looked at Pornhub. I've been on certain things sometimes, like when I'm in my luteal phase. I've experienced certain things where I'm like, I want to have a release too, where I want to look at things that I like to see that would maybe arouse me as a certain person. I've been there and I still am, right? But but it's not something I do all the time. It's not something I depend on as a person. It's not something I depend on in a relationship. It's something that I fall back on in a relationship either. It's something that like I could use as like an extra, like, in a relationship with me, or it's something I can use like when I'm having like a night where I need to have something I want to see. But I don't think that it's like, anything different. I can see how people can think that my faces could be judgmental and rude, but that's just kind of how I come off as. And I'm trying to like listen and be respectful of other people when they're talking and listening to them as well. But just because I have a different opinion on something doesn't mean that I'm, not listening to that. But I do think in some ways that porn can be a really destructive behavior in a relationship. But do I think it's cheating? I don't think it is an active cheating situation unless it becomes a situation where a man is going to put all his time and energy and reflect his life to porn. Because there's some situations where you can be with a man where he thinks that all sexual encounters are going to be how porn should be, which is not real. Porn is not real. It's a cinematic experience, So
Yeah.
it's
All right.
just
I need a timer or like a shot clock, or like you guys will all just talk forever, which is fine.
no.
You have a lot to
I'm
say.
not. I'm sorry. I won't.
Yeah. All right. So, yours. What's your name again? Did you tell me your name, or
My
did you
name?
not? No, yours.
My name's Vincent.
Vince. All right, Vince. What are you thinking?
No, yeah, I disagree. I think, I said it before, but no, I feel like if you're with someone, depending on how serious you are, whether you're talking about marriage or kids or, you're just in a relationship, you should be eyes only for that person. And I feel like throwing, corn into the mixture can be confusing for the both, and I feel like it isn't something that you should dumb down to. No offense to anybody, but it shouldn't be something that you lower your standards for. I feel like everyone should have expectations and standards, and in bettering themselves and looking for other ways to cope with life rather than corn compared to being with your other significant person in the
Yeah.
bedroom.
Yeah. The question, like for you, Milana, is if you lower your standards for this, because I hear the wrestling in you. It's like this isn't okay. It's like your standards are lowering. The question, the danger is how much lower will that get?
Yeah, I mean, and that's the important question, that I feel like a lot of people got to ask. But will it ever be something that people don't indulge in? Will clubs ever go non-existent? This is something I was saying earlier. A lot of it has to do with money. A lot of it has to do. I mean, when you break it down, it's not a moral construct. It's not a what people should and shouldn't do and to lift another person up. I mean, at the end of the day, people do make money off these things. There are clubs that make tons of money, and it's just a way that we've dumbed down society and lessened our standards and values for women and men, if you want to throw them in the picture too, for the stuff that they do for money. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like we've kind of given more people freedom of expression and more people rights to do these type of things, which is okay, but you definitely need to weigh the pros and cons to it and just realize what you're doing in life.
Yeah. Shot clock. I do need a timer.
I don't know if that's a good answer or not. I know a lot of people would disagree, but
I honestly think that, like,
just porn in general has ruined like a lot of like people and like their brains and stuff, because like honestly, I'm gonna be so honest, when I was in elementary school, like I remember boys were talking about it and like I was like,
But
what's
yeah,
that? And
for
like,
sure.
and I just don't think that's like, I think that's really wrong, and that kids are getting exposed to all this. Even my little sister on her iPad, she has games, and on those ads, they show up inappropriate like stuff of like cartoons with like their boobs out and stuff, and like links like to these websites, and I'm like, that's really wrong.
Scary.
There should be more protection for these children.
Mm-hmm.
And
And,
like,
and I feel like in a lot of places they are. You know, they're trying to make it to where if you get onto stuff like this, you need to show some sort of ID,
yeah, you have to show ID now in North Carolina.
which will be a good thing, but that's not going to conquer everything, because you know we're always going to have Reddit, we're always going to have Tumblr, we're always going to have Discord and these other apps and stuff that will bypass anything like that to look up whatever you search up. So I mean, I feel like the question and the concept of that is bigger than us, and it really just goes down to like, you know, things that are getting funded and the right that people have to do what they want to do.
Honestly, it's sad, but at this point in our generations and stuff, everything is online. You're gonna get exposed to stuff. But the best thing to do is just protect your children and like protect the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like I wish I was protected. I was even this site called Omegle, like I'm pretty sure everybody knows what that is. I wish I never even knew about that website, and I was exposed to it in middle school, and like it was just disgusting website. Like I wish I never even heard about it. You know what that is, right?
What
Oh
would
yeah,
you say?
I know what it is.
A Megal. It's like
Oh yeah, for
before.
sure. Yeah,
Kaylee
I
Marie,
was
you got to have your
exposed
camera on,
to
or
that
I'm kicking you off.
at a young age too. And I mean, yeah, it's bad. You know, you've got to be careful. And I mean, it goes on both ways. You know, the people on there and the things they do. You know, and yeah, it can be problematic for sure. And that's one reason why it got shut down. I think is for that very reason.
Yeah, I'm glad it did though, because that was just disgusting website.
But I mean, like I said, and a lot of it has to do with money. I mean, you look at the new app now, Monkey, which you know a lot of live streamers, a lot of people go on, and I mean it's the same exact idea. And you got to look that they have a subscription thing on there. I'm sure they make thousands and thousands of dollars. Are they ever going to shut it down? No.
What is it called?
Monkey.
No, I know Omega. What's the other one?
Monkey.
Monkey? Is it similar?
Yeah. It's very similar. And there's like a subscription thing you can pay for, and I'm sure they're making bank. I'm sure there's millions of people that are.
Gosh. It's called free random video chat like Omegle with strangers.
Yeah, no, it's the same exact thing, and I mean that just.
It's just a bunch of eggplants, isn't it?
Yeah, it shouldn't be for anyone to just get on there, like you know, with no age barrier, and it should be more regulated. And who knows why should there even be anything like that? You know, I mean,
yeah.
I'm just checking. Are all of you straight?
You gotta have your camera on, or I'm kicking you off.
Okay. Well, you're talking about Omegle.
Where was she going with the straight and Omegle?
I don't know. Don't care. She didn't have her camera
That was
on.
like a very far reach.
But like I just saw this someone comment in the chat, feisty girl. She said, "Lana, why aren't you using those values with your boyfriend? Don't lower your standards." The thing with that is, I'm not even lowering my standards. It's just the fact that I don't want to give up on somebody that I've put in so much effort and time with.
A couple months though.
I've seen a different side of this person, and it's
18.
harder. It's like easier to say than do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Especially when you've been like taught, like when they've said so much stuff to your brain that it's just like, oh, okay, they're gonna change. They're gonna be better.
But I mean, you are young too, and I mean, you definitely got to realize that nothing's set in stone. I mean, if you're thinking about starting your life early and you think this is the right person that you'd want to make that journey with, that's all up to you. But I mean, I feel like you know you definitely got to weigh your options and just you know realize that every day's a new day, and I mean, whether you want to keep going and think you can change this person for the better or that they'll change, that's a decision that you and him have to make.
Yeah, Milana, I was gonna say something because the reason I brought up my two different, like my husband now and my ex before, is because they both watched porn. But knowing that my husband now had a problem with porn before marrying him, the reason I still chose to is because he was open about his struggle. He called it a struggle, and he wanted it to be gone. Like he was willing to be accountable to me. We had been really good friends for a very long time. I've known him longer than I haven't now. And he's still open like that. Like, it's not fun if he ever has a relapse, if you want to call it that. But it's something that I know, like, your neural pathways are carved that way. It's as bad as cocaine or something where you just crave that thing. So, like, it's not that I expect him to be perfect overnight, because I'm real and I'm human and I had issues and I still do. We all have stuff to work on. But if you're, and this is no shade, I'm just trying to, you're 18 and I was 18 once, and I remember everything feeling like the end of the world. And like, you have so much time in front of you, and I wish that I didn't waste 8 years with the guy that didn't think it was a problem or gaslit me all the time about the different girls' numbers in his phone.
Yeah.
and things like that, where my husband now never would pay for it. Still to this day has not been in a strip club or had like a lap dance. Like, he was finding free porn, which we all know is not free for the girls, but it's just something you got to really put in your heart and say, do I want this problem 10 years from now? Like he was saying, like, because I waited 8 years to leave the guy and I wish I did it sooner, but I am happily married for 10 years tomorrow. And yeah, we both struggle with our own junk, but I love my husband. He's my best friend, and I can be open with him and he can be open with me. And we both try to, help each other with our problems. We're not shaming each other when we make mistakes. That's the difference, I think.
Can everybody follow me here? I need to get this account up to 1,000 so I can put a link in my bio. I have a Discord server that may be helpful to people. I'm also a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men who are dealing with porn or sex addiction and women who are dealing with betrayal trauma. Milana, here's the thing is, I like what you said, Kristen. The question is, does he think it's a problem and does he want to work on it?
Right.
That's what you got to get clear on. If he's like, nope, I love my porn, now you have information and you can make a decision. But if he's saying, you know what, I don't want to be doing this. I never wanted to be doing this. I carry shame over it. I want to change. I want to stop. I just don't know where to start. That you can work with.
Right.
So basically, saying that we talked about it today and like a couple of days ago, because when I found it, I also found on his phone like deleted messages with him and his friend, and he was saying like, "Oh, she's mad because I watched porn," and I wasn't mad because he watched porn. I was mad because he lied about it, and also the fact that he's looking up these girls and like it's just odd to me, and it just didn't feel right. And I don't want to be with somebody like, I'm answering my own question here. Like, I sound stupid, but like, it's so hard to let go of something that like I love.
Yeah.
I stayed 8 years because I didn't want to be a failure. I didn't want to let go of all that time that I put in. And I'm telling you, the second that I was free from that, yeah, I went a little crazy, but I definitely felt that like, because I knew that it was the right choice, and it just felt so much better than like looking back and going, oh my gosh, am I going to have to always look through his phone and this and that. My husband now lets me look at his phone if I ever want to. I don't really think about it anymore, but like, we're open with everything, passwords, we share everything, we're best friends. Like, there's no guessing.
But he did say like he did everything.
You're covering your mic, Milana.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
A little bit more.
So he said he showed me, he deleted everything. He deleted Telegram, he deleted all of like the weird like shit that he had on his stuff. Oh sorry, I don't know if it's, but he did delete it. He did say like he was sorry and that he wants to work better and like actually and like try to make this work, and like how he doesn't want to lose me and all of that. And I was thinking like, this one last time and I'm gone. Like, I told him to his face today. I was like, if I ever see something again, if you ever disrespect me again, I can't let myself go like this anymore. Like I can't keep doing this to myself. And I don't
Um,
know if maybe like I should just like go like after this one last chance, or if like I already gave in too many chances.
that's a question for you to ask yourself, right? Getting clear. What are you wanting, and what are you going to do? What action will you take? Because here's the thing: a boundary sounds like this: is I have a boundary. I will not be in a relationship with somebody who watches porn. You can do whatever you want to, but that's my boundary. So if you choose to do that, then I'm not going to be in a relationship with you. That's the action I will take. So a boundary doesn't seek to change somebody else. A boundary declares what you will do if your request or boundary is not met or honored. So it puts all the power on you in terms of who needs to change as opposed to the other person. So you have way more power here, Milana, than you may be thinking you have.
I think I just get taken for granted too much, and I just have too much of a big heart where I just give so many chances, and also the fact that like ever since I was younger, I've always been manipulated. I've been in like toxic relationships and with family too, where I just don't know what's really healthy or not. And I want to love and I want to like help people, but it's just really hard also seeing it as like a young person, like very young, still like growing this world. That I don't know, but I think like from what you guys are saying, I just need to figure out what's best for me and to choose.
Yes. Yes. Now you're cooking with oil. Love that for you. Yeah. All right, I'm kicking you guys off except Mateo, and then I'll bring new people on.
All right,
All right.
thank you so much.
Nice chatting with y'all. Mateo, what's up, bro?
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What up?
So, just like today in society, we always get more loose with how people are dressing and stuff, and just everything you see on social media. I mean, I'm sure you scroll through TikTok, and there's all type of different things that are promoted, or any other social media app. I mean, how do you feel like what's best in men combating just how they have lust for women? What situations do you feel like we need to have more discipline, more stronger mindset?
Yes.
Because I mean, you walk
discipline,
outside,
mindset,
you're on
integrity.
a college campus. You see how some people might dress. Not that that's an excuse, but I mean, it's easier for your mind to try to be lustful, seeing the woman walking down the street in the skimpiest outfit ever.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's hard. Here's the thing: you
And I
can't
know that
help
sounds bad.
Well,
Like
no,
people will roast me in the comments, but that's just a fact.
No, I don't think
Can you
you'll
guys
get
hear me?
roasted for that.
You guys
Yeah.
hear me too? For
How
some
do I?
reason,
Yeah,
it
because
won't
I
let
want to
me.
go live of where like you guys are like you can see me, but I'm trying to
Me
like
too.
make
I
it
don't
to
know how to
where
do
like
it.
it's not like letting me put my camera on. So how do I
You
fix
have to
it to
have,
where?
I think, 100 followers to turn your camera on
Oh.
as a guest. Everybody follow them. They're not that far
Yeah,
away.
I
I'll give
don't
you
have
I'll give you a
that.
minute. I think it's
Yeah, I'm like,
100. I
how do
actually
I
want to know
get? I'm
that.
like, I'm not.
Will you
I'm
guys
trying to click to where like I'm
Same
like I
girl.
can't go
I'm like,
live.
what
They're
the
not
fuck?
it's not letting me.
It won't let me
get one of the
either.
I actually want to know the answer to this. I think it's 100. Get one of them up to 100 and let's see. No, to go live on your own account it's 500. But I think
I just
to
personally
go
felt bad
live,
for the 18-year-old because I was like, me at 32. I just felt bad for her because I'm like, her at her mindset of how young she is. I'm like,
all
I've
right,
been
Giselle,
there
you're at
before.
100 now. Can you turn your camera
Am
on?
I am?
Yeah.
Live access. What?
Oh, yeah, my bad.
You might have to leave and come back.
So I really want to talk about this, but why?
Wanted to ask you
Here's
that question because I
the
just felt
point
like it was
is
a good point to make.
you
Today in society.
You can't help the first look, but you can help the second look or what you do with that look.
Right.
That's the
Now,
principle
are we
to try
wrong?
to
Are
adhere
we
to.
wrong for making that first look? Is that our brain wired that way, or is that just
exactly?
You guys
how do
generally
you
think that
explain that?
porn is cheating though? Because I mean, I don't feel like, I mean, I'm 32 years old. I don't think that it's cheating, but I also do feel like if you're a
Hold
lot of
on.
people like,
Hold on. You know what else is cheating? breaking the rules, and you have to have your camera on if you want to stay on here.
But I can't put the camera on if I don't have
Then you won't be here. I don't care. It's not my problem. Figure it out. Go get more followers. Create interesting content.
But back to what I was asking you, Austin. What do you got to say about that?
I just said it. You can't help the first look, but you can help the second look.
Now, is there an excuse for the first look? Do you think that's how our brains work?
I don't think so. I mean, do you?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like, yeah, men's brains are wired a bit, to a certain extent that, yeah, something might catch their eye, whether it's, whatever, the way someone's dressed or the way someone looks,
Yeah. All right, Mateo, what's up, bro? Before you fall asleep.
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
Turn your camera on.
You're bugging out.
Anyways, I'm out, man.
All right, later, man.
Yep.
So for those of you who watch me a lot, do you guys like the cameras on or not? I find it way more interesting because I can actually talk to a person.
I don't know how to fucking turn my camera on, man. I'm new to this.
Camera's on better. Doesn't matter. I'm not going to do this all the time. This is my backup account, so do whatever I want.
Can you hear me?
Yes, again.
All right, hey man, porn. Listen, porn is not cheating. Okay, I don't think.
Oh, I just kicked I thought it was you talking, Joey. I kicked the guy who didn't have his camera on.
Oh, I'm nervous now. I'm the only one in here.
What's going on?
Nothing much. I just saw the live, and I don't know. I felt like I might have an interesting take, but the more I sat and listened, everything that I was going to cover has already been covered. But I feel like cheating, like porn isn't cheating in a relationship that accepts it. But if either party isn't down for it, then it is. But like, I think it's also wrong to judge another person's relationship. But if you're like in this setting talking about this difference, that's just how I feel.
Hold on real quick. Gisela, are you able to turn it on now?
I'm like almost there. I think I need like 25 more people to follow me.
Well, you're at 100.
No, it doesn't.
It says you're at 101.
On what? On my page?
When I click on your name, it shows me. It says 101.
Not on my page. Okay, just take me off.
Yeah, I will. All right. So, do you watch porn, Joey?
Yeah. Occasionally. Now, look, see, here's how I'm gonna answer this question.
They're both named Joey. Oh my gosh.
Wait.
Oh.
Yeah. Which one are you talking to? I didn't realize that.
I was talking. Well, I was talking to the top one, but like, do both Joeys watch porn?
You can go first, brother.
I'm gonna go first, brother. All right. So, when I was in a relationship with my past girlfriend, I didn't. But now that I'm not in a relationship, I do. So it's kind of like I don't know. Like if I was still in my relationship, I don't think I would. So, that's just me.
Got it. Okay. What? You don't have to. You definitely don't have to have 1,000 to turn your video on. I know that for a fact. I don't even have 1,000 on this account, and I'm hosting the live. All right, Brandy, what do you got?
Well, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think porn is cheating, but I mean, sometimes whenever people get like addicted to it, and then it's like, I feel like maybe they don't get as horny or something, because it's like they gotta have the porn, or like people that get addicted to vibrators or something. They can't, so yeah. So kind of, it's not cheating, but it's not very nice to do it all the time.
Okay. Okay. The other Joey, what about you?
Hey, how you doing? I have a Christian perspective on this. Do I watch porn? No.
Are you
Have
sure?
I struggled? Have I struggled with porn my whole life ever since I was 5 years old? Yes. Is it
Hmm.
a battle every day? Yes. But pornography completely distorted and it desensitized my mind to what true love is, and it desensitized my mind to what true godly love is. And um, you know what it did to me is it made me promiscuous. It gave me certain things that are not, I guess, perverse, right? In the perverse mind that it gives you. And every day's a battle. I struggle. That first look, like you said, that first look, it's about what you do after that first look. But Christ said, if you look at a woman with lust, you commit adultery in your heart. And you know, we live in a lustful society full of porn, full of a perverse, a perverse way on what love is. And like I said, every day's a battle, and that's my perspective for now. Yeah,
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that, man.
of
5.
course.
What happened when you were 5, man?
I was exposed to it when I was a little kid. I was exposed to it through magazine. My one of my really good friends, his father passed away, and we would like go in his dad's closet when I was like 5, 6 years old, and we would like go look at the magazines. You feel me? So
Hmm.
um, what that did is it sparked the curiosity in my brain. Like, yo, like seeing a naked woman for the first time in my life as a little boy. It's like you have that natural reaction to like look at it and be like, okay, I'm curious now. So then you go on the computer and you type up make this, that, and the third, and then you start seeing things that a little kid shouldn't see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's what it did to me. It completely destroyed my life, and
Yeah.
I am a complete advocate for Christ, and I want to get it banned. You know what I mean? And I'm with you, bro, and I appreciate what you do by helping people like me that have struggled, that have been addicted to it. I went to rehab for sex addiction, and I went to rehab for pornography addiction. I've gotten the help that I need, but for
Good for
real,
you.
the only way that I was able to get through it was through the power of God. And I'm open about it, and I'm not ashamed. And I think my story can help somebody else in this chat.
Hmm. Yeah, man. Thanks for
Yeah,
sharing. 5 years
of
old.
course, bro.
The thing is with porn, it sears into your brain. Those first images you see, it's literally seared into your brain. And that's so young, man. I mean, it's terrible at any age, but 5, man. Whew.
Yeah,
Thanks for
bro.
sharing.
And
Yeah.
of course, and the thing is, bro, is the most important thing to notice about pornography is that it does something to not only your mind, but it does something to this. It does something to your heart. And the way that when you're constantly feeding your selfish desires and you're constantly feeding yourself temporary satisfaction, you're going to be serving yourself, and you're not going to be used to serving others and loving others. You get what I mean? So that's what it
Hmm.
does to you as well. Is it destroys your heart and distorts your mind. And yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Thanks for sharing. Tay, what do you think?
I don't think it's cheating. I think it's unhealthy for you though. Um, and I don't think it's good for relationships at all. But I don't think it's cheating.
Are you in a relationship?
No, but I was in a 3-year relationship where he did, and it was super weird. Um, but yeah, I didn't think it was cheating. I just thought it was weird.
Do you have an
Yeah.
expectation that your partner only have eyes for you?
Not necessarily. I think like it's kind of human nature to look at other people, you know? Like especially for men, I feel like it's different. Like they're obviously going to think other people are attractive, but they just have to have discipline to only be with you and only, make have attention towards you. Does that make sense?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so your expectation is not that your partner only have eyes for you and give only you that gaze, as we might call it.
Right. Like you can like look at whatever you want, but like come home to me don't entertain anybody else, that's when there's like an issue. Because men are always going to look. Like that's something that is pretty common. Really.
Hey, can 3 more people follow Monica? I want to see if this actually works. You're at 97, Monica. All right.
Okay, let's go. I want to get live.
So,
I'm trying to click the camera and it's not working.
well, you're not at 100 yet. Now you are.
I thought I was. Okay,
Bro, if
hold
I
on.
laugh, I'm not laughing at y'all. It's these comments, I swear to God.
Comments are great, bro, aren't they?
They're horrible. They're so bad. They're so bad.
Monica, try leaving and coming back now that you're over 100, okay? You might have to, like, close out TikTok.
Okay, hold on.
All right. So, what do you guys think? What do you say to Tay?
Can you repeat what you said, Tay?
What I said?
Yeah.
I said I don't think it's cheating, but like I wouldn't want that in my relationship. But when it comes to, you know, men like looking at other women, that's something that's always gonna happen.
Well, can I give you something, Tay?
Yeah.
Just because society might normalize it and most people will follow that way of thinking, that doesn't mean it's okay.
Well, it's not even that like it's society. I mean, that's just kind of human nature. Like when men are like looking around, they're looking at like on a psychological standpoint, like they're looking at attractive people. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
you can't just turn that off because you're in a relationship.
Yeah,
Like
but
you can tell if somebody's attractive, but the
Yes.
disrespect happens when it becomes more than just acknowledging, right? You can acknowledge somebody walking down the street and you're like, oh yeah, like they're attractive. But like when it becomes more than that, that's when it's bad. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
so you can think somebody's attractive, but the second that you lust after that person, that's what makes it wrong. So if I have a girl, I'm single, but if I had a girlfriend, I can still think that, I don't know, Selena Gomez is a good looking person. But the second that I lust after her and desire her, that makes it wrong because she's not my wife. She's not my girl. You know what I'm saying? Or she belongs to somebody else. So I don't want other men looking at my girl the way that I you know in a sexual manner to just use her to for their own lustful passions, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just not okay. So just because like you might think somebody's attractive does not mean that it's okay because it's not. It's sin. You know what I'm saying?
So how
evil.
are you supposed to like look at somebody that is like physically attractive, right? Like there's like science behind like how people are seen like attractive. How are you just supposed to turn that off?
You can still look at them with I can still look at you and be like, yo, you're attractive.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, the second that you desire them in a sexual manner, because God created sex to be a beautiful thing, but the world perverts it. It's a perverse. It has a different meaning nowadays to society in a manner where it's not between a. It doesn't have to be just between a man and a woman, or it doesn't just have to be like in a loving way between a husband and a wife. It can be multiple people at once. It can be with the same gender. It can be with two people that don't love each other. That's not morally right. It's against the laws of God. And if you don't believe in God, then that's something I can't help you with. But if you do and you claim to be a believer, then you have to stand on that truth. So that's all I've got to say.
Brooklyn, what do you think?
I'm kind of on Kay's side with this one. I don't think that porn is cheating.
Okay.
I mean, I've been.
Are you in a relationship?
No, I'm not.
They never are.
I just got out of a relationship. And honestly, I don't need to be in one right now, but I've also been in a lot of long distance relationships, and if my partner were to watch porn while I'm not there, that's nothing for me to scoff at. And it is something that is so just like common in our society. Like we have shows that are literally called Sex in the City, where people have sex. And what's the difference of watching sex on TV? And probably half the people in here have probably seen Game of Thrones. How do we differentiate that from going on to like Pornhub? You know?
Game of Thrones is porn. Sex in the City is not.
It depends who you
Hey,
ask.
what about Shameless though,
I don't know what that
See,
is.
it's everywhere.
bro?
So
Man,
here's the thing is you know it's pornography teaches us to objectify another person, to treat them as less than a human, as just an object for my sexual pleasure. That's not what a romantic relationship is supposed to be. So it's not just the fact that they watch porn, it's how they view people, how they view sex, how they view a union of two people coming together. It perverts that. So 88% of porn scenes depict acts of physical aggression or violence. I mean, somebody earlier said, you know, teenagers now who have never had any history of domestic abuse or sexual abuse are now going and abusing people. And part of these studies link it to pornography use. So it's like, oh, why are some guys, men, treating women or other people so poorly? Well, in part, it's because of the porn they're watching. So all these other things about the guy where you're like, well, he watches porn, but there's all these other things. Part of it, I would assert, is because he's becoming carnally minded by watching porn, which is very violent, generally speaking, in nature. And it's literally that it's like if you were to take what healthy sexuality is supposed to be in porn, it's like magnets that can never come together. It gets you farther away from actually being able to be in an intimate relationship based on love. That's just my opinion.
Does that mean that that's defined as cheating if they watch
Well,
it?
cheating literally just means going against an agreement. Like if you turned your camera off, I'd kick you off here. You'd be cheating the rules of my life. Right? So if the agreement in your relationship is that you only have eyes for one another, if you deviate from that, that's cheating. So the question then becomes is what's the agreement that you have or want to have in your relationship? Do you only want to have eyes for your partner and only want them to have eyes for you? If so, deviating from that is cheating.
If you only want them to have eyes for you, and
you're cooking. You're
Like,
cooking. So.
Like, do you only want them to be sexual with you, or do you want them to masturbate to hundreds of other women on the internet? Which do you want when you're in a relationship?
right, that's perfect.
I was gonna say,
What's that? Which do you want? I mean, I don't care which one you want. I'm just curious. Which do you want?
I mean, preferably me, but like I said, I've been in long distance relationships where it's like I can't see you for months. So I guess I've also just kind of come to where I'm like, you are definitely not gonna
Well, here's
get
the
off
question.
for like
Here's
3
the
months.
question. If they need to masturbate, couldn't they do that without watching other people have sex?
Right.
I don't know. I don't know the people you hang out with. Can they?
I don't know. I don't ask.
Ignorance is bliss, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
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 Kind of got awkward, didn't it?
You know, yo, as somebody, can I say something, Austin?
Yeah, man, go ahead. You're great, man.
No, thank you too, bro.
Thanks.
As somebody that has been a full blown sex addict, like full blown just pornography multiple times a day, been to a deep depth of perversion in my mind to what love is. As somebody that has been to that point, that saw the wickedness in my heart and saw the way that I was treating women, the way that I was treating my girlfriend at the time, the way that I was looking at people, the way that I was objectifying. I plead with not only people up here, but the people in the chat, get your heart right. Because I promise you that pornography is never going to fulfill the void in your heart. And it's a lie from Satan. And I hate it. And it destroyed me. And it's perverse. And once again, I said that many times. But ladies, I know y'all in the box don't really understand, because I don't know if y'all have an experience with being addicted to it. You do not want your boyfriend or your husband watching porn. It will destroy your relationship with him, and it will completely destroy his heart and your heart, and you won't be happy. So I plead with you that repentance is key, and that God loves everybody here. God loves y'all. Jesus loves you. I'm gonna get going, bro. I just wanted to say my piece.
Hey, before you
But,
get
bro,
off, do you mind if I ask you something?
yeah,
So going back to what Austin said on how it made people more aggressive in studies, did you
yes,
experience that?
yes. Yes, you develop kinks that are like of aggression. You develop things that are of aggression, and also you become more violent in real life. I've growing up, I had terrible anger problems. I would fight people. I would throw balls at people's heads. I would be so short tempered, and it was like an anger of it was like anger that came out of me, because it's part of being it's part of pornography distorting your mind and your heart, right? So yes, to answer your question. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So the question is, for Tay, you in Brooklyn, is what would you rather have in a man? Someone who orients their world around cherishing you, honoring you, protecting you, loving you, or a man who, when he's with you, he kind of treats you okay, but then he's doing all these things with all these other women. Which would you prefer?
I feel like that's an extreme on like both ends though. Because
Yeah,
like
it's a
realistically,
question designed to get you thinking. So if you were to answer it, which would you prefer? A
well
man who's all
obviously
about
like
you, or a man who's all about you and dozens or hundreds or thousands of women on the internet?
obviously like the first one.
Why is that obvious?
Because those are like two extremes that you put next to each other.
So
Like
your assertion is that it's extreme for a man to only love one woman?
no, I think you can, but I'm saying like to literally revolve, like you are the only thing that revolves around that man, like that's very unlikely. And the likelihood of like men at some point in their life like cheating is so high. And I don't condone cheating in general or like would be okay with that. I wouldn't. I would leave. But I'm saying like from a biological standpoint, I don't necessarily think it's bad to be able to look at other women. I don't
That's
think you
not
should be watching
that's not what we're
porn
talking
though.
about. We're not talking about a biological desire to look at other women. We're talking about masturbating while watching other women have sex on the internet, in the being lonely and isolated in secret, hiding it with their device. That's
Yeah,
not
I think that's weird. Yeah.
okay.
No.
See, because you're basically saying like, oh, it's no problem. A guy's walking around, he sees an attractive woman and looks. That is so different than what men do with pornography.
Okay. Yeah, then to what you just said about the pornography, like that would be a no for me.
Yeah, great.
I honestly, I think that's a really tough question, honestly, on my part. Because the last person who I was involved with was a pretty major content creator and treated me super, super well. We'll
Like
start off with that.
porn content.
Just barely skimming the brim along that. For me, it's not something that I do. And I never really looked at his content that he would post. Never would watch his lives where he would like talk to women in the chat or whatever.
Did he make money doing this?
Yes.
So you're the person you were previously with made a living by selling his body online to strangers. Is that correct?
That was his second job, but yes.
Okay. How did like for you as a person, is that what like you're like, yeah, I'm with a man who sells his body online.
It wasn't necessarily selling his body online, but he
What was
would
he
talk
selling
about
then?
it. Was I don't really know how to describe it. It wasn't him selling his body. It was more
Did he
of
have a
just like
shirt on?
in some of them.
Did he have abs? No. Okay. Well, they weren't buying the abs then.
No.
Bro, everyone in the comments, bro, stop flaming me, bro. I'm just sitting here. God damn.
Hey, is the music bothering you guys? I mean, somebody said it is, but I feel like everybody would say it's bothering them if it was bothering you. Okay. So,
No, it's very
Brooklyn,
calming.
can I ask you a question, Brooklyn?
Hmm?
Do you? And I have no reason to believe this, but do you or have you ever like done OF or something like that?
Oh.
I never did OF, but when I
Oh,
was
well, I
young,
just looked at your profile picture. No, okay. Well, what's that about?
I've been I'm a bikini competitor.
Got it. Okay.
So that's what I do. But no, I never had an OF. But
Okay.
that's why I stumbled, because everyone's like, oh, you must. I'm like, nope. I was like, I model in bikinis for a living and I compete nationwide.
Got it. Okay, so you're like an actual bikini model.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Okay. All right, Joey, up at the top. What's going on with you, bro? Fly on the wall.
All right, bro. So I have a question from the other Joey from like 10 whole minutes ago. All right, so it came from a topic that you brought up about aggression, like aggressive behaviors after having porn addiction and stuff like that. And then Joey was talking about because he had got asked what aggressive, like if he himself experienced the aggressive behaviors or kinks or whatever. I was curious as to what those kinks were.
I don't think that's appropriate to talk about right now.
Like if there was like, I mean, I guess you could be true here. I don't know. I don't TikTok live, but
I mean, it's up to Austin. I don't know.
No, he said no. He doesn't. Yeah, I don't think that's relevant. You can use your imagination, man.
I mean, it's just at the end of the day, I'm not going to get into it, but at the end of the day, pornography will kind of give you like a power. Like it makes you like, it's like it's like a power trip. It's like you're gonna think that you can have authority, or I don't know. It's weird. It's just you'll start desiring like certain body parts. You'll start desiring like certain acts that are not that are just kind of like too explicit. But just because something feels good. By the way, bro, the music is like kind of loud.
Is it loud?
Yeah. No, bro. Like, if you really want to know, like, yo, give me a follow. I'd love to talk to you off this, but like, for the sake of like the people in here, and just like sometimes some things don't really need to get too explicit or too deep. But let's just say that like some people will never understand unless they've gone to that point, right? But
here's an analogy I can make. Somebody who say has never watched porn, or maybe very, very little porn, they go out in public, they might, oh, that person's hot. Oh, that person's hot. Oh, wow, that part is really standing out. Somebody who has watched like the porn that we know it in this generation, say like 40 and under, oftentimes I talk to a lot of guys who watch a lot of porn, the thoughts that they just default to is, oh, the things I do to her, the things I do to her, the things I do to her. And they start imagining the scenes with them, the other people, and that's how they view everybody. And this is just how it works. Yeah. And that's why that's why what we do in private does matter, because do we want people walking around doing that all day? I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
Austin, I have a question. Were there any studies that you saw on how it affected like women? 'Cause I hear the aggressiveness coming from men, but what's the effect of it on us?
I could answer that so many different ways. Well, what I want to say is, honestly, I think the way you guys are presenting right now, you're like, yeah, it's no problem that my man's an animal. It's like, I think that's a pretty severe impact of porn on women.
Yeah.
It's like you guys are like okay with the fact that men are animals and they can't keep it in their pants. It's like, what happened here? This is not how it should be. I'd say that's a impact.
Yeah.
I mean, look at our society. Like, there's honestly, like, there are studies now. There's PhDs that are researching this and comparing what's going on with pornography to what we used to teach about secondhand smoke in like the 80s and 90s. It's not just the user who's being impacted; it's everybody. I mean, you look at the father. Imagine the father is just bathing in porn. How do you think he's going to treat his daughters?
Yeah. I mean, yo, brother, most serial unalivers, they all start with pornography. Most people that commit these heinous acts, it all stems mostly from sexual sin, sexual immorality, right? So, like you said, a father with kids and daughters, man, they can get to a point where it gets heinous, bro, because they're allowing their heart to get darkened by just pure evil, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna turn the corner here and then land the plane because I just got a text from my wife to tell me to stop screaming because the kids are sleeping. She said, "You're really loud. Can you be less loud?" Sorry, I'm trying to save the world in here. Here's the thing: there's hope, no matter which side of this you're on. If you just started watching porn and you want to stop, if you don't think porn's a problem, just reconsider it. Reconsider the impact this is having on you. I was addicted to porn for 20 years. It escalated into physical cheating with my wife. I'm still married to the same woman. We've been married for 13 years. There is hope. Even if you're married, you're in a relationship. No matter how perverted he might be, there is hope. And if you're a woman who's struggling with this and you're a cool girl, okay, I'm not going to argue with you or tell you you're wrong, but there just might be much more available to you if you reconsidered your viewpoint on it. So I'm a coach. I do one-on-one coaching as well as group coaching, both for men dealing with porn or sex addiction or any unwanted sexual behavior, as well as women who are dealing with betrayal trauma. I have groups. We meet on Tuesday nights as well as on Wednesdays. You can go to the link in my main account bio, and it's a place to be in community with it. Betrayal trauma is real, people. When a woman or a person, any person, but when oftentimes a woman finds out their husband's been watching porn for 5, 10, 20, 30 years, cheating, strip clubs, affairs, escorts, prostitutes, it's devastating. And there's hope for that. There's a long healing process, but it starts with acknowledging what's going on and then stepping into some personal empowerment, no matter which side of this you're on. So if that's interesting to anybody, you want to talk to me or work with me, I'd be happy to. There's tons of resources out there. You can go to the link in my other bio and schedule a call with me or join one of my groups.
And then I would love to get in contact with you and talk some things because I'm still healing. I'm still healing from, almost 20 years of pornography and multiple partners and
DM me, man. I'd love to chat. Yeah. So
This
I'll
is
give
very
you
enlightening.
Yeah, for sure. I'll let each of you kind of give a final word if you want. We'll start at the top, Joey, and then we'll end with the other Joey, and then I'm going to bed.
Understandable. Leading off of what really everyone said, in one way or another, what I've heard in the past hour and a half I've been on this live, man, don't disrespect your person in whatever way, shape, or form that is. Don't cross those boundaries after you set them. If you know a person set them, don't cross them. And that's really all I got to say, because I don't like bringing religion and everything into it, because that's fair, but I know not everyone thinks that way too. So just don't disrespect your person, man, because they're just gonna go out and do it to you. And if it's not them, it's gonna come back to bite you.
All right.
That's all I.
Thanks, Joey. Tay?
Yep.
Kind of the same as Joey. I think if it's something that you wouldn't do in front of your person, you probably should not do it. So,
All right, Brooklyn.
Um, definitely, I just feel like my entire viewpoint of the entire is it cheating or even just the entire industry and what it does definitely shifted. I've never really been hit with any of like the facts about it. And hopefully whoever is watching, if you were also in the same mindset as me, kind of start to question things a little more and like what your worth in your society is because you're valued, like you said, a lot more than just being something to some guy who wants to be an animal.
I
Thank
love that
you.
for you, Brooklyn. Yeah, thanks for hanging in the conversation. Yeah,
Of course.
Joey, bring us home.
Bring us home. All right, man. One, I want to say thank you for letting me up. Two, if you're a young man in here and you struggle with pornography, man, there's hope. I was one of the worst. I was one of the worst when it came to just cheating, um, just being just a total piece of garbage, piece of whatever you want to call it, man. And if there's one thing I will tell you would help me is to flee. And I know I personally have faith in God, and the Bible says to flee sexual immorality. So what I literally had to do is I had to leave certain situations. I had to literally stop living in the home that I grew up in because of the trauma that it gave me as a young child up until the age of 20, 23, right? So there's hope. I'm still battling my struggle. Once again, brother Austin, it's that first look. After that first look, you know what I mean? It's up to you after that point. But if you fall, get back up. A righteous man falls 7 times and gets back up, and there's hope. And God is hope, and He loves you. And bro, you're doing a great thing here, and I appreciate you so much, man. And I can't wait to talk to you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, shoot me a message. And again, for anybody who wants to, if you're interested in my coaching, go to the link in my bio on my main porn coach account. Love to chat. All right. Thanks for being here, everybody. Appreciate the conversation. As always, make it a great day or not. The choice is always yours. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.